The great thing about this podcast is that you can listen almost anywhere. In the kitchen while preparing a meal, driving to and from work, going for a stroll in the park, or even while taking a shower. Oh, and if you are in the shower, I'll try and speak up a bit so you can hear over the running water. Can you hear me okay? Great. But no matter where you are, take a look around. Our lives are filled with little mysteries. Interesting products, long-held customs, even the curious turn of a phrase. And if you've always wondered the stories behind some of that stuff, well, you're in the right place. So stay where you are. Oh, except you in the shower, you might want to finish up. You don't want to get blamed for using all the hot water. In the meantime, welcome to the podcast.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for joining us. We begin with our love for dogs.
Man's best friend.
There's an old saying, the more people I meet, the more I like my dog. And I'm sure most dog owners agree. But they aren't without their curious quirks. Like this one. Have you always wondered why a dog circles before it lies down? Is it instinct? A ritual? Trying to summon a portal to a doggy dimension? Whether you're a dog owner or not, you've seen this happen. Well, let's take this hound out for a walk and see if we can sniff out the answer. Scientists say that the dog was the first animal ever to be domesticated by humans.
Here, doggy.
Well before horses and cows. Sorry, just reporting the facts. But just because they were domesticated didn't mean that they lost all of their old ways. So the answer goes back to a simpler time, before orthopedic dog beds, memory foam, or people who refrigerate chicken for their poodle. A time when dogs still lived in the wild. Back then, it was an act of preservation. Before lying down, dogs would check their surroundings for predators, flatten the area for sleep, making sure no surprises were hiding in the grass. It's kind of like when we check into a motel room. You know, we take stock of the towels, inspect the mini fridge, make sure the magic fingers in the bed are still working.
Okay.
Yeah, well, never mind. So the act of circling before lying down is something that's hardwired into your dog's behavior. It's an ancient survival ritual, only now it's performed in front of your dishwasher. Right? Right. And if you have any curious canine quirks you'd like to share, feel free to let us know. We know how much you love your dogs and would gladly explore them on a future podcast. Oh, wait, what's that, girl? Oh, you're saying that we give our email address at the end of the episode so they can send in their suggestions? Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Good girl.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Kids play it in the backseat of cars to pass the time. Buddies will play it to see who pays for the pizza and beer. Even spouses may play it to determine who's taking the trash out that night. We're talking about rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors!
Usually on the count of 3, players shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
Making a symbol with their hand. A fist for rock, a flat hand for paper, or 2 extended fingers for scissors. It's a beautifully simple game. Rock crushes scissors, scissors cuts paper, paper covers rock. When 2 people play, there's always a winner. Except if it's a tie, then you just do it again. It's easy. But have you always wondered where rock, paper, scissors originated? Without knowing anything about it, I would guess that it was a baby boomer thing. You know, something that started after World War II. Well, turns out I was completely wrong.
Okay, boomer.
Hey, I admit it, I was wrong, okay? Actually, rock, paper, scissors can trace its roots all the way back to China in the 1600s. It was called, well, it was something in Chinese, so let's just call it unpronounceable.
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
Yeah, pretty much so. From there, this unpronounceable game made its way to Japan. In its earliest versions, Japanese players, instead of rock, paper, scissors, threw slug, frog, and snake.
Ew, gross!
Yeah, I'm not really sure who beat who. Kinda sounds more like biology class, but the idea was the same. Well, as Japan opened up to the rest of the world, its culture began to spread. The game eventually found its way to Europe and finally to the US sometime in the 1930s. And it's been the go-to game for avoiding actual decision-making ever since.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
In recent history, rock, paper, scissors has been used to settle a court case, an auction dispute, and was once even used in place of a coin toss during a professional soccer match. There really is no strategy to winning other than maybe knowing your opponent's tendencies. Although growing up, I once knew a kid who threw a fist with an extended thumb. He called it a hand grenade and said that it blew up everything. he won every time.
Cheater.
Yeah, tell me about it. One final note. Rock, paper, scissors is known as scissors, paper, rock in Australia. It's the land down under. I guess it only makes sense that the name of the game would be flipped too, right?
G'day, mate.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Okay, picture yourself at a social gathering. No one knows anyone. Everyone is silently nibbling on carrot sticks. So you take it upon yourself to utter,
Hey, if you were a vegetable, what kind of vegetable would you be?
It was a feeble attempt, but before long, everyone knows that Gary is a rutabaga and Jan dreams of marrying another celery stick. Instant bonding. You succeeded in breaking the ice. You've heard the term your whole life, but have you always wondered where break the ice comes from? Well, let's dig in, or at least chip away at it. A few hundred years ago, before central heating or reliable Google Maps, transporting goods by river was a big deal, especially in Northern Europe, where rivers like to spend a good chunk of the year impersonating frozen parking lots. Enter the icebreaker ship. Their job was to literally break the ice in channels and rivers to allow for the passage of larger vessels. So by breaking the ice, those large ships could then ease their way through and be welcomed into port. Over time, people began to use the phrase metaphorically. And much like you at the party, when things felt a little frozen, you plowed ahead to help break the ice. Well, now that the ice is officially broken, I think we have time for one more. Because after all, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's another phrase we hear all the time. So have you always wondered who this lady is and what exactly is she singing? Well, for this one, we need to visit a 19th century opera house. You're watching Wagner's The Ring Cycle, a Germanic opera that clocks in at, let me check here, 15 hours.
Does that include bathroom breaks?
Yeah, let's hope so. Now, the opera is in German, so you haven't got a clue as to what's going on. But finally, an imposing woman enters the stage, Brunhilde, in braids, wearing a Viking helmet and breastplate, belting out a dramatic aria and hitting a note that could shatter glass and pierce souls. And when she finishes, that's it. Curtain down. Opera over. You can now flee to the snack bar. So with that in mind, let's now jump ahead to 1978. NBA playoffs. San Antonio Spurs, Washington Bullets. Texas sportscaster Dan Cook, analyzing the series, says,
The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings.
his Spurs would eventually lose that series. But that phrase would spread faster than nacho cheese at a stadium concession stand. It would morph and go well beyond just sports. A political race where your candidate is down by 20 points. Playing a family game of Uno where you've just been skipped, reversed, and given a draw 4 card. Or asking out that cute girl from accounting.
The only way I'd ever consider dating you would be if you were the last man on Earth.
Okay, it may not look good, but there still is a sliver of hope. Because it ain't over till, well, you know the rest.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. A reminder, new episodes drop every Friday on your favorite podcast platform. Click subscribe or follow to make sure you never miss out. And as always, we leave you with one to ponder. Have you always wondered why monosyllabic has so many syllables? I mean, think about it. A word that means one syllable actually has 5 syllables.
Kinda sounds like overkill to me.
That's what I thought too, but hey, what do I know? Until next time, stay curious, keep wondering. Oh, and say hi to your dog for me too. I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for listening.
The Always Wondered podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and a review. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you pod. Feel free to offer suggestions for future topics or simply reach out to alwayswonderedpodcast@gmail.com.